Hi, I'm Eric Booth. It's a pleasure to be able to connect with you through Ensemble Connect. In this little video introduction, we'll have it in 3 parts, a little introductory information in the first. In the second, we're going to try an activity together that I hope will illuminate some aspects of the way we think about teaching artistry in Ensemble Connect. And then third, we're going to look at some of those tools we used in hopes you'll be able to pick some up and put them to use for yourself. You should know I myself am completely not a musician, which makes me quite helpful, I think, to the orchestral world and has been for a while, because I'm one of those outsiders who hasn't developed the ways of thinking, the habits of mind, the quick references to information that insiders have. So I represent that sort of insider-outsider that you need to be able to engage if you're going to grow our field. I use the term the art club. Sounds a little negative, and it's intended to be a little negative, to identify that small percentage of people in America who identify as people of the arts. They may be artists themselves, art lovers, but people who have it in themselves that I'm an arts person. And you should know that according to demographic research, that is a very small percentage of the US population. In fact, it's probably 6% of the US population that thinks they're in the art club. And that's not the classical music club, that's a subsection of the art club. So the classical music art club is even smaller, a tiny percentage of the American public. And too often, I find the classical music industries focus on that art club like that's their audience, without recognizing that leaves out 96% of America. And if you're only going to focus your talents and your expectations and habits of mind on that narrow target, we're going down. We need 21st century musicians who can make authentic musical connections outside the art club, not dumb it down, not make it friendly and, palatable for those who aren't lucky enough to love classical music, but actually take the power of what's inside and be able to authentically open it up so people can successfully get inside and connect. And in fact, that's what we're aiming for. I would say the single goal for all of us is to support people's capacity to make personally relevant connections inside the music. That's the goal. Personally relevant connections inside the music. Not recognize musical things, not notice when the sonata form turns from section A to section B. Who cares? I'm only coming to this by choice if I can get goodies that matter to my life. And that is only a small percentage of Americans who have the fortunate background to be able to do that on their own. That leaves the vast majority of our potential audience unable to access the personally relevant connections that matter so much to you, the wealth that is held in those works of art we love. That's why we need ninja teaching artists who know how to open access to those works of art using the tools that matter to those outside the art club. Too often I find very good intent that musicians want to be able to open up the artworks, but they use tools that they were taught. And that those tools don't work very well for people like me, people outside the art club. I mean, you can tell me all you want about ABA form, and I go to listen to the symphony, and I watch, oh yeah, maybe that's where the A section becomes the B section, and oh yeah, now the thing that's happening, oh yeah, he warned me that was going to happen. I get to the end of that paying attention, and who cares? Didn't add anything to my life. I don't want to come back for more of that. especially since our work demands that people show up where we want them to, when we want them to, listen to what we've decided they should listen to, and behave in ways that are kind of unnatural, like don't clap when your impulse is there, and be really quiet or you're going to get a dirty look. Those are a lot of things stacked against the normal American way of receiving engagement. That's why we have to make sure they gain access to the thing that matters. And personally relevant connections inside artworks as gorgeous as symphonies can play, thank God, is powerful enough that people, if they can have that feeling, they are coming back. And indeed, the research makes it pretty clear that that is the single thing that brings people back to buy another season subscription or to buy another single ticket. If they have a significant personal or emotional or spiritual experience inside the music, that's what we've got, and we need to make sure they get it. Otherwise, we're playing to the art club, and that is a tiny percentage that is not going to support our industry very long. So the work of Ensemble Connect, the name fits, is how do we connect a wider public to the power of what's inside those works of art. And there's a lot of tools to do it. We use the term teaching artist as a way to sort of a basket term to describe the multiple skills we can use, because there's many ways to do it. And we're going to explore those skills just a little bit in the 3 sections of this little introductory talk. So let's take a pause, and when we come back, we're going to do a little experiment. And on the break, you might want to get a piece of paper and something to write with, because this first activity works a little better if you write things down. And meet you back here in a minute.